Happened in the 90s.
Matt was the fat kid, Steve was the black kid. Life wasn't always great, but you know what was? The 90s. Happened in the 90s. Yeah!
Well, today, my friend, we're talking about all things March 14th in the 90s. Starting off in 1995, Home Improvement is airing season 4, episode 20, Matt. Talk to me. Tim accidentally throws dinner into the trash compactor and then drops Jill's ring down the furnace. Tim speaks to two guys on how to talk to women on tool time, and he calls Jill an old hen.
I mean, this is a great episode of this show, which we love, but we get two cameos in this that are just extra special for me, Steve. A young Dave
need to be in-
Chappelle.
Season 4! I need to be in season 4, episode 20!
And a Jim Brewer. I mean, was this hot off of being in was this pre-Half Baked? When did Half Baked come out?
That's the mind-blowing thing about it. Half Baked came out in like 97, 98. This is 95. It's just like 2 stars of Half Baked. Did ABC, did you guys do this? Did you know this? Season 4, episode 20, Matt.
Oh my God, dude. There's a conspiracy here somewhere, Steve. I'm not smart enough or sober enough to know what it is, but maybe they can't. Did Dave Chappelle conceive this in a trailer with Jim Brewer waiting to film a scene with Tim the Toolman Taylor, Steve?
I'm thinking this could be another lesson in my pop culture data class.
Yeah. You're definitely just, mark it. This is chapter 2.
Chapter 420.
Great Home Improvement. We start this episode off in the Taylor household, and Randy and Brad are playing a little indoor hockey, Steve, and I don't like that as somebody who want to own a home. These kids with their beautiful hair and their hockey sticks. I mean, come on.
Hey, man, Lion King residuals. He can pay for it.
Yeah. Damn, JTT too. I mean, prolificness all throughout this episode. But Jill comes in. She's kind of a little on edge. She's busy. She's going to school. She comes home to a dirty house, and she's like, what the fuck's going on here, guys? I know this is fucking hockey town, but you should have cleaned up. So what pig caused this mess? And what I think is Randy's like, it's actually the pig that wears a tool belt. So watch your mouth, Mom.
And like while she goes away, Tim comes in and, the boys alert him like, hey, watch out for Mom. She's in a bad mood. Oh, great. You pissed her off. Like now I'm pissed that you pissed her off. Now she's going to get down my throat. Like what the well, she's mad that you left a mess on the counter. Oh, well, shit. I need to clean that up. So he tries to clear all the clutter on the counter and say that 3 times fast. While he's doing that, Jill shouts out to him. It's like, hey, why you doing everything in the kitchen? Can you set the dinner up? Like I just got it from the grocery store. It's like, well, where's it at? Oh, it's above the trash compactor. Well, no, it's not.
Yeah. And you just got to get out of those crosshairs, Steve. And I don't know what he did. Maybe he had to go to Mickey D's after that. But we go to the credits. We see a different version of the credits than we've seen, the more video game-esque, like Clarissa Explains It All credits. And I love these.
This is more subdued.
And then we come back to the house. Jill is studying. Tim's doing the dishes. They're a great team. But Tim tells Jill he's like, hey, maybe don't leave your wedding ring right by the drain where I could just drop this thing in. It's unsafe. Leave it over here. He's got to get his 2 cents in. But as soon as he says that, he drops the ring into an even deeper hole, which is just a hole that goes into their furnace, which I don't get. I'm not a craftsman, Steve, but why a hole that's big enough to drop stuff into just to the furnace? Isn't that like a fire hazard?
Maybe the furnace vent was open You know,
Wow.
sometimes you got to open it. It's March, so in Detroit, it's still cold, probably. You know, and Jill is in another room while this is going on, so they're having a back and forth, and he's just like, "Oh shit!" And Jill kind of already knows what's going on. She's like, "What happened?" She comes back into the kitchen, is like, "What did you do?" And he's like, "I don't know what you talking about. Where's my ring? You dropped it in the drain, didn't you?" No, I didn't. I kind of sort of dropped it in the furnace vent.
The whole to hell. Sorry about that.
Yeah, my bad.
But that doesn't incent her. He's a tool man, so he can get that. He can figure that out. I wouldn't be able to. I'd be like, so that's gone. We'll have to just get you a new ring, I guess. But as this is happening, Jill thinks that she notices that Tim's like he just bothered. She's
Got
like,
some
yeah,
funk in his step.
acting weird, and he's like, no, it's fine. This is what I do, Steve. I'm like, no, this is what all dudes do because you can't. It's not necessary. You don't want to start the conversation for this reason because he tries everything not to tell her what's bothering her, but then she's like, all right, I need to know, so tell me. And he goes, well, if I have to, you've been going to school. I've been doing a lot of chores around here while you're at school, and just little thank you would be nice.
I feel like
And
I'm being taken for granted. You
that,
know,
I mean, we've all, Steve, you've been in relationships. I'm in a relationship. And this is like the last thing that you would want to say. Lie. And this incenses Jill to the point where I thought she was going to grab a knife and stab his ass. But she goes through the whole laundry list of, I've been running this house for 15 years, cleaning up shit, cleaning up after these kids, cleaning up after you. And I never got a thank you. I didn't get shit. And now that I'm trying to do my thing, you're being a bitch, basically. I'm paraphrasing. She doesn't say that, but it's ABC.
yeah. And let's be real. You were happier when I was just here, stuck at the house, barefoot and pregnant all the time. Maybe I should just shoot out another kid. You probably like that, huh? It's like, oh, hey, slow down. You
We
jumping the
got three.
gun.
We got three, and
Yeah,
two of them are iffy at best. So.
yeah. One of them kids look like you more than me. I'm like, I don't even go with it.
But then we cut to them recording Tool Time. We're in the middle of it. Al's trying to teach Detroit's metropolitan area about cabinet doors, but Tim's just really feeling.
Persnickety.
He's got to get something off his chest, dude.
You know what? Fuck this shit. You secure in perfect union. Cut it out. Oh, that shit. I want to get something off my chest. You know what really grinds my gears? When you're chilling, you trying to get something out the drain, out the vent, the furnace vent. Then out of the hen house, just out of nowhere, the old hen comes clucking. Maybe we need to talk. Oh, I noticed some funk in your tone. And then some familiar faces are in the audience, and it's none other than Dave Chappelle and Jim Brewer. Bah!
And coincidentally enough, Steve, that's their names are Jim and Dave in this show, and they've been having some issues too. So Tim, instead of doing tool time, it's time to talk relationship time, and he brings them down because he's got to sort their lives out too, and he brings them down, and he's like, well, my wife's going to school for psychology, so something good to do in these situations is a little bit of role playing. Not that kind, but you got to sit in somebody else's shoes. So, Dave, you're going to be Jim's wife, Lorraine, talking to Jim, and we're going to go through this. And they do a whole role playing session, Steve. And I mean, I got to say, Dave's really into it. Where
And
were you at last night?
and where was I? And then he honks the horn. He's like, you don't answer a question with the question.
They know that
First
they
line.
know that's a dead giveaway. You're lying right there, and that's good advice. I mean, he's giving out some banger advice, Steve.
Yeah. And after all of this, Al has to let the people know, ladies, if you have any questions, you can contact him directly. And here's his number.
I mean, Al always has I love he has that ready too. He didn't even know this was gonna happen, but he just had that shit on the good to go.
His thoughts and opinions do not reflect mine. Maybe you need a sign sometimes when I go on my rants, Matt,
You know,
because I can
I'm
go on.
cool to co-sign it though. I'm into it. It's fine. But I need to get a, you know, maybe I will do that. That's a good bit. I'm gonna have to think
Yeah.
about
Now,
that.
now that I think about it, man, you do say some shit sometimes, Steve. That yeah, I can't.
But Tim's insulted all the women in Detroit. And I got to say, this is eerily similar to an episode of Martin where he goes on a rant on the radio and then goes
On his
out to
radio
dinner
show.
and with Gina and some like a friend of hers and a dude, and he riles all the dudes in the restaurant to just go, fellas. But you know, Tim's ballsy because his wife watches the show. So what? You know, this woman's coming in at hot as fuck every day. What are you doing here, bro?
It's the talk of the town. It's tool time.
So we cut back to the house. Tim's still trying to find Jill's ring in this whatever's going on in these pipes. Boys still are not cleaning up, and Jill's still coming in hella hot. And it's not because of the state of the house or Tim just being a douche. It's because she saw the episode. So, you know, get the boxing gloves out, get the mouthpiece, because ding, 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 it's
And so
on.
Randy, that's the little one, right?
Randy's JTT.
That's
No,
JTT. Mark is the little one.
Mark's the little one.
Yeah, and Mark's supposed to be assisting Tim get that ring out of the drain, and he's dropping a tennis ball. But Jill shows up, and she's like, "You know what? Give me that tennis ball. I got something else." So he's talking back and forth with Mark, and instead of a tennis ball, he gets a croquet ball. He's like, "I told you a tennis ball. Why'd you throw down a croquet ball? It wasn't me, dog. Well, who was it? It was the old hen. Oh, hi, honey. Penny, honey.
And she's got a whole rack of those croquet balls ready to go. They get in a fight through the vent because she can basically see down through it enough. Well, whatever. But Tim puts a football helmet on. He's got a Lions helmet on. He puts that on for safety. They get in a fight. For some reason, he thinks it's over with, takes it off. Jill drops another. I mean, this could be murder, Steve. I don't know what's going on here, but Jill's a cold-blooded lady at this point.
And for relief, his per episode relief, he goes outside, and it's none other than Wilson on the other side of that fence, and he's playing the harmonica. And Tim asks him, "Would you like to play harmonica this morning, Tim?"
This guy's like a sage, dude. Is he an angel? He can sing the blues too. So he can just fucking freestyle blues. He's got a whole got out of my bed. Got hit in the head.
He's Wilson is idiot savant, man. Just like Clarissa can make a video game that pertains to the episode, Wilson can, like, whatever his neighbor's dealing with, he can just make a song on the spot.
I got those low down croquet ball blues. Is that John Popper?
I don't think so, Tim.
Yeah, but I mean, he is like, it's like Obi-Wan Kenobi is over there. What can't Wilson do? Where's this money coming from? I don't know, but they go through the whole shit. Or Tim's like, she's just nagging all the time, dude. Like, I can't handle it. And Wilson basically says that, maybe you need to pay attention. Like, maybe Jill's all this nagging is her like trying to reach out for help because she's got the blues. Really, she's overwhelmed. Something's going on with her. And as always, it's a bullet right into Tim's cortex. It straightens him out, Steve.
Wilson, man of mystery, yet he has all the answers.
Did he play the Roseanne theme song also? I'm just wondering because this guy.
And the theme song, The Big Show. Well,
I
the
love
next
that.
day at tool time, Al comes in and now he's not talking to Tim. Al's pissed because his cabinet making bit didn't make it into the episode. And he told all his cabinet maker friends that, to look out for it. Now they're just displeased.
I look like an
It's,
asshole right now.
I hope they didn't become unhinged.
Good one, Tim. Uh, but as they're getting ready to record, Jim and Dave come in, and they're like, "Dude, our wife saw that fucking show too. You got to get on here. You got to save our relationships because they're in shambles because of that shit." I don't know
I'm in
why
trouble with my woman.
I don't know why two wives were watching Tool Time, but they saw that shit. And Tim, I forget what he says, but he's like, just stay back here. Or no, they want him to go out and do it because he's like, yeah, come out and be on the show. And they're like, nah, you got to do it. You go tell them
Yeah.
you're sorry. I don't want to
Yeah.
be implicated.
Dave told him, man, I don't want to go out with you, man. You dangerous. You got me in trouble, man. So the show starts, and Tim immediately he wants to apologize. He says, those two bachelors I had on the show the other day, I got them in trouble, and this is what I'm going to do to rectify the situation. So instead of having them come out, he just goes back to them, puts them on the spot, like, oh man.
So Dave has to say hi to his wife, Phyllis. And he says he's sorry for anything he may say. And he said, most importantly, the biggest lesson I've learned is that I will never listen to Tim the Toolman Taylor ever again. So I'm sorry, Phyllis. Phyllis, Dave?
Yeah, baby boomer names. And Jim, he has to say to Lorraine, like, hey, I've been meaning to share this with you for a while. We're gonna get married. I got a ring for you. And I even got the date, May 28th. And then Tim tells him, like, no, that's Daytona 500. June 4th. June 4th.
And he's like, I even got you a ring, baby. Check this out. And Tim is like, oh my God. He takes the ring, which, I mean, damn, dude, like, hands off. But the thing's got a rock on it. He holds it up to the camera, and then bink, bink, we hear a little tingling. And he's like, oh my God, sorry. Weirdly enough, I didn't even know there was a drain down here. That's crazy. And Jim Brewer's reaction is very great. He's like, what the Oh my God. This guy's just ruining lives, Steve. I mean, God damn.
Tell you he's dangerous. And now back at the house, Tim made Jill a model psychiatrist's office. She comes home from her test, and apparently she did well.
90th percentile, Steve. 90th percentile.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she's at the top of the class. That's what it means. But Tim's gonna build her an office whenever she gets that degree. And in his little scale model, it looks great. It looks like a psychiatrist's office. It even comes with Jill, represented as like a little Lego woman, and a little nutty nut, Psycho, represented by a peanut.
Not J.K. Simmons, but Tim, yeah. Toolman.
And they do a little role playing or therapy in the little. They're using the model to go through their own problems, basically.
You know what? From now on, when you ask me what I'm doing or how I'm doing, and I tell you how I'm feeling, don't bite my head off.
Well, and Jill owns up to her end of it too. Like, they're both apologetic. But Tim's even admits, he's like, well, I should be, you held me down when I decided to stop doing what I was doing and start Tool Time. And that was a crazy, crazy throw to left field. So I should be there for you. And maybe one day, Jill, you're going to want to have your own TV show, and it can be like an offshoot of my shit. And it'll be Psycho Time with Jill Taylor. I'd watch.
Is everyone cognizant of what time it is?
Also, maybe her and Martin, who has a TV show in Detroit about relationship problems, they could do like a collab, maybe. Just throwing it
with
out
the
there.
Love Doctor.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. But I think everything's gonna be okay in the Taylor household, Steve. I think it's all right.
Especially now that Tim got this Benford super compressor and he finally sucks that ring out and it bounces around the house like Cole's toenail and lands in their food on the stove. But they
But they
got it.
got it, Steve. Somehow, whatever that was, did the job. And like I said, if nothing else, the guy's better than I am. Because if I drop something down to something into the furnace, I figure it's gone into the ether. I wouldn't even think you could recover it. So shout out to Tim for at least knowing that much, you know?